This is a really good question in response to yesterday. I told y'all how many embryos I had purchased for the upcoming breeding season. So with buying embryos, is there a live foal guarantee? AKA the first embryo doesn't take, do you get another embryo? Or is it like a one and done kind of deal? You just have a big risk. I'm gonna use Kennedy as my little model back here, because we will most likely be selling an embryo maybe from her this coming year. So I can tell y'all what I like to do, and I can tell you what I have experience with, but that's not going to be how everyone does it. Oh, you two, what are we doing? There's some drama. So there are multiple scenarios here, okay? Because there's a difference in the risk with, or like the ease of obtaining the embryo with, already frozen embryos that already exist, or buying the right to flush a mare, to flush an embryo and put it right into a recip, or you're buying an embryo that's already past that 45-day mark where it could be insured. So there's differences there. So with Molly, I purchased her when she was 70 days cooked. So she was already implanted into Maggie, her recip mom, and she was already at the age where I could put insurance on her and I could insure her and make sure that I got my money back if she did not stick. So that's what I did there. And they did not guarantee a live foal. It was up to me as the purchaser to get insurance, which with embryos, it's such a time consuming thing. It's risky, it's expensive. So honestly, that's what most people are going to do. Most people are going to not guarantee a live foal. They're going to require that either you take the risk or you get insurance. Insurance is also super expensive on embryos just because of the risk. So depending on the price of the embryo, sometimes it's not really worth the price of it, because I think sometimes it's a quarter of the price. So that's one scenario where the baby's already cooked long enough to get insured. Okay, so let's go to a frozen embryo. So for me, I have some frozen embryos for Beyonce and Trudy. So if I was going to sell one of those in this upcoming breeding season, I would have to make my own kind of contract to say whether I'm okay with a retry or whether you get one and done. Most people are going to offer you a second one, but it's going to come with an additional cost because they're not the cheapest thing to obtain. They're not the cheapest thing to store. The whole process is expensive. So that you have to just figure out on your own. So for me, when I've purchased embryos that were frozen or for when I'm selling, you pay the price of the embryo. The buyer will pay all the vet prices. They will have to pay for the recipmare, or if it's their own recipmare. And then once that 45-day hit, that mark is, then it is up to them to insure it. And if something happens after that 45-day mark, it's up to them whether they insured it or took the risk. After 45 days, we're not doing a second one unless you're wanting to pay a whole other fee. Now with flushing, which I'm actually doing this coming season, we're flushing Ginger for somebody. You have to put some stipulations in there because if you're going to rebreed your mare, then you have to have a time period there because for instance with Ginger, I'm going to want to rebreed her for my own baby from her. And so there has to be stipulations in there for a time period of okay, if that baby doesn't stick, we have to rebreed before X date because I have to get on with my own breeding. And this isn't a frozen embryo. This is flushing from my mare. And for me, it's kind of the same deal regardless. We're not doing a live foal guarantee. If your baby hits that 45-day mark, get it insured, take the risk, whatever you choose. But then it's not on me anymore because unless I'm physically foaling it out for you or my mare is carrying the baby for you, I have no clue what is being done with that recipmare. I have no clue what stress she's being put under. I have no clue if she's being fed correctly, if she's being taken care of correctly. And so I can't take that risk that whoever you have doing the job or whatever you're doing is correct. You know what I'm saying? Or that you're giving her Regimate, or that there's a lot of factors in there that could go wrong. And so I have to make sure that I protect myself as well from getting into a pickle. I think it's kind of like a per situation basis whether retries are done. For me, it's something that I have to go haul my mare to the vet. It's like a half a day thing. I have to put my mare through, the 10-day cycle of short cycling or of rebreeding or of her taking, of it being 7 days later. It's not, if we retry, it's not just, oh, boom, boom, retry. It's like a whole 2-week ordeal, 3-week ordeal. So for me, even if we're doing an embryo flush and it's not a frozen embryo, I still would charge an additional fee to retry. Not the whole dang fee, but it's an additional charge for all the work that goes into it. I don't know if that was organized at all. Please let me know if I was confusing. Let me know if that answered your question. But generally speaking, and I'm not saying always, it's not a live foal guarantee because there's so many factors that are out of our hands as the mare owners, unless we are like foaling it ourselves. And so it is usually asked that the buyer gets insurance. But let me know if you have other experiences, and please let me know if you have any other questions.